This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets. Workbook Nuggets was written to be a commentary or study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading the book's full commentary on today's workbook lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some impromptu thoughts and comments on today's lesson and my commentary. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 46, February 15. God is the love in which I forgive. Today's lesson is our first real introduction to forgiveness, a central concept in the Course. Note that the practice sessions start at the most global with a simple recitation of the lesson title, God is the love in which I forgive. Sessions then become more specific with recitations directed at specific people in your life. Then you turn your attention to forgiving yourself. Finally, you conclude each practice session by again considering the idea in its most general form by restating, God is the love in which I forgive. Clearly, the concept of forgiveness is meant to apply equally to the whole world and everything in it, including your, quotes, enemies and yourself. And that is the key. Forgiveness applies to all and everything. But we are not talking about forgiveness as it is ordinarily defined. The usual definition is not what the Course means. To apply the usual definition of forgiveness in the context of the Course is to cause further confusion. Forgiveness, as defined by the Course, is seeing through the illusions of the ego to the reality beyond, the oneness and love which we all share at the deepest level. Forgiveness, as defined by the Course, is your realization that there is nothing to forgive. There is only love, or a call for love. If you see something to forgive, you are not seeing at all. You are perceiving from the limited perspective of your ego. You are perceiving separate people and things rather than the oneness of the kingdom. This lesson is the first major discussion of what is perhaps the most important concept in the entire Course. Forgiveness. We all know that it can be very difficult to forgive. When a wrong or affront has you in its grip, it can be difficult to think about anything else, let alone forgiving it. Your attention and awareness are firmly fixed on the wrong. That is, you are solidly stuck in the illusion, fixed on the world. Now, the whole purpose of the Course is to switch your attention from the separation and conflicts of the world to the oneness and peace of the reality beyond the illusion. So, it makes perfect sense that the Course focuses on situations such as this, situations where we are most firmly stuck in the illusion. Would it be easier for you to forgive if the wrong or affront hadn't really occurred? Of course it would. And according to the Course, it didn't. Whatever transpired happened in the illusion. You don't live there. The real you is spirit and lives in an eternal reality where all is one and no harm is possible. You forgive by seeing beyond the illusion, by shifting your awareness and perspective to a place where no conflict exists, and the real you does. And this is the gist of the definition of forgiveness for purposes of the Course. To forgive is to see beyond the illusion, to see that there really is nothing to forgive, because in reality, there is only love. Separation, conflict, and harm are all elements of the illusion, not of your home as a child of God. Later on, we will see how the Course generalizes the term forgiveness to mean looking beyond the apparent good of the world as well as the bad. But the Course, in its wisdom, starts us in the most extreme case, affronts and attacks, where we already have some experience with forgiving.